Hey everybody, we have another tutorial here today. We're going to kind of add on to the work you've been doing, learning about some JavaScript with your web page or with your website. And this is just a quick little demonstration on how to kind of add a little graphic time of day widget type of thing, I guess. So here we'll go ahead and get started. This won't be a lot of code, it'll be a short one. So to get started, I just made a folder. I just called it JS site for JavaScript site for our thing. And I have a JS index, which is my .html. And I have JS styles, which is going to be my style sheet for this. And I probably didn't really need a style sheet for this. I could have just had it be a internal one, but that's okay. And then I also have an images folder in here. And inside the images, I have a picture that I made with Illustrator of a moon and one of a sun. And so it could be any picture that you're using for this, but since I was using Illustrator and wanted to do something with vector graphics, these are SVG files, but you can make a little simple picture of a moon or use, your smart art or whatever. It could be a JPEG, a PNG, whatever you want it to be, but like I said, mine was a moon and a sun. Okay, so I got those in there, and so there's that. And then I have here in Notepad++, I have my two files started. So I have this is my jsindex.html, and this is my JS styles up here. Alright, and I'm not going to show anything else for the web page for this. This is just going to be the example is the only thing that's really going to be on the page. So I have on here my doc type, I have my HTML, I have the head section, meta, character set, UTF-8. For the title, I'm calling this JavaScript example. And then for this, I have link for my CSS, just like we've done with the others. But then for the href here, I have jsstyles.css because that's what matches this up here. And with that, I think we're ready to go. So this is going to go inside of the body here for this example. And I'll enter that down a little so we have some room to work with. I'll make sure I'm zoomed in here so you can see everything. I should have done that to start with. I apologize. And I'm going to start off and, I'm sorry, I got to put in a script tag. Okay, so I'm going to go script, and then down here I'm going to close the script tag. I'm going to move these up just a little bit. So where are we? All right, and with the script tag, I want to have in here a variable. So I'm going to go var space, and I'm going to call this current is equal to new date. All right, so we're going to set the date to be current on here, and then we're going to go variable day underscore night is equal to current dot get hours. All right, so then this is going to check like what hours it is, and it's based off of a 24-hour clock. All right, and so I'm going to have this picture, and I want it to be sunshine during the day and a moon when it's at nighttime. Okay, is what I'm trying to make here with this. And then I'm going to use a little if statement. So if day underscore night is equal to current dot get hours, or I'm sorry, no, gee whiz. What am I doing here? All right, I'm going to go if day night is less than or equal to 12. All right, so so that means if it's like 1 o'clock, or I could say 12, and figure out the minutes in there with decimals, but I'm just going to go for the solid hour here. So if day underscore night is less than or equal to 12, then I'm going to press enter, and I'm going to use a document dot write command. And inside of this, I'm going to put in, inside my parentheses and then quotation marks in here, I'm going to use my image information. So img space class, I'm going to give it a class. And when we're using, normally in this case we would use quotation marks, you know, when we're typing our HTML and CSS. But I find when I'm using this stuff in the doc write and I have quotation marks already started in here, I then need to switch to the apostrophe, you know, the single quote deal on there. So I'm going to go image class is equal to single quote, time pick single quote, src is equal to single quote, images slash sun dot svg quote. And then I have my greater than sign on here. Okay. So that's how this looks to start off. So that means, you know, if it's in the AM, then it's going to happen right there. Now you can tweak the hours of this and change those. Maybe you want the moon to not show up until it's, you know, sundown. You know, then you could change it to whatever the hour is where you live, where the sun's going to go down. This is just an example of something you can do. All right. So we have that on there. Now I'm going to, underneath that, use an else. So what's going to happen if it's not less than or equal to 12? I'm going to copy this line up here. I'm going to paste it down here, and I'm going to switch this one to moon, because that's the name of my moon picture. Yours may be sun.jpg or sun.png, you know, whatever the case is. But this is just what I called my files. All right, and then at the end, we have our trusty script. All right, now for the styles of this, we don't really have to worry about the styles too much. They don't really have anything to do with anything, but I made my images white. So I'm going to go body. I need to do something so they're actually viewable. So I'm going to go background hyphen color colon space pound 00000 semicolon, and that's going to make it so that the background color is black, right? And then I'm going to go down here, and I use, let me double check, yeah, for the image class I use time pick. So going into here, I'm going to say dot time pick is just to show you that you can you know, style whatever it is that you have inside of those elements that we put in there, those JavaScript stuff. And then I'm going to type in width colon 50% semicolon, and then I'm going to close that son of a gun up right there. Okay, so I got, let's take a look. I got this on. Yeah, that should be fine. Cool. And then over here is my actual script. So I'm going to launch this in Chrome, and right now, because it's 5:53 my time currently, you know, I have this picture and it's 50% of the width on this. All right, so now let's say here, you know, let's say I wanted this time to be later. So I'm going to, just to show you that this works, you know, so 12, I'm just going to say 20. All right, so that it would be 8 o'clock, 20 hours, and save it. And I'm going to go in here and click refresh, and then it shows the other graphic. So again, this is just kind of a cool thing. Maybe at the top of your web page or somewhere in there, maybe not as huge as this. You know, you're going to have just a little icon in there to let people know what day or time it is, and just something, you know, kind of cool to add to your web page to make it, you know, a little more interesting, a little more interactive, and that kind of stuff. But that's kind of what we have for that. So again, this was just a script that could fit in anything. It could fit inside a table. It could fit inside of you know, whatever the different sections are, the different elements that we've used for our HTML. It can fit inside there. We have it inside the body tag here, and that's kind of a cool little thing that you can try. And again, this part here wasn't necessary. This is just showing you how you can have it responsive, since we've been learning about responsive web pages too. So hopefully this is a cool little thing for you to try. Find a way to use it with one of your web pages. Maybe you're going to have a background image that's during the daytime, you know, or an image graphic that you made with a light sky, and then at night it switches the background image to a dark sky, you know, of the same thing. You can do all sorts of cool things with that, and see what you can come up with. Again, hope you learned something. Thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you next time.